Emeka, Nkechi, Philomena, and Pius, it's time we have a family meeting. Because you're walking around, meanwhile, stress is showing you shaggy. Can you remember that time you went to write the exam and all of a sudden you cannot remember what you wrote? That's stress. Or you just finished long projects and immediately after the project, bam, admission inside hospital. It could also be a sign of stress. Now, I hope you know that stress will attack your immune system, it will attack your memory, it will attack your health, it will attack your brain, and so no part of your body is immune from stress. But now the question is, can you avoid stress? No. As long as you're alive in this God's green earth, you're going to be under one level of stress or the other. So the best thing you can do for yourself right now is to know how to manage it. And that's why we're making this video. And for those of you that don't know, this is the International Stress Awareness Week, where we share tips and tricks so that, stress can stop showing us shaggy. And let me not do advert. This particular episode is proudly sponsored by myAstymin. myAstymin is my go-to supplement that is filled with amino acids and multivitamins to help my body repair and recover. First of all, what is stress? This stress that everybody is talking about. It is simply your own body's way of responding to an event or condition that it thinks is going to harm your life. Just imagine that you are about to enter your toilet and shit. As you're about to sit down, you see this huge anaconda in your toilet bowl. You that they have been begging to go to gym, all of a sudden you're running 440, your heart is racing, bam, before you know what's happening, you're outside the compound shouting for everybody to hear. You see, all that thing that happened in that particular scenario is basically what we call stress. And there are three kinds. There is acute stress, there is episodic acute stress, and then there is chronic stress. The one you want to avoid is chronic stress. Acute stress can be good sometimes. You just got a new contract, everybody's celebrating with you. It can be a good thing. Or there's just a new deadline now. Good thing. But episodic acute stress is when you're dealing with this acute stress all the time. Your boss is always giving you deadlines. You just finished deadline, there's another deadline, from this deadline to another deadline. And then there is chronic stress. You're probably living with somebody that is stressing your life and just giving you wahala up and down. It's not something you can avoid. You're always there. There's a particular situation on your head that you always have to think about. That's chronic stress. That is the one that really, really affects your health. So now that we have spoken about the types of stress, how do you now know what is triggering it in your life? Number one, Sakpa, and yes, Emeka, I'm talking to you. Number two, relationship problems. Some of you are in people relationships that you probably should not be with. You people are always fighting. Those things are adding to your stress. Number three, it could be a car accident. It could be a natural disaster. Number four, loss of a loved one. Somebody that is close to you just died. That could also be a source of stress. And it's important that you start to identify all these things, because the next thing we need to talk about is how it affects you. Now, we need to sit down, get your popcorn. Let me now explain this one properly. First of all, during stress, there are three main hormones that are secreted: epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol. Epinephrine and norepinephrine are basically hormones that prepare you for fighting or, flying. You want to run or you want to fight. What they do is, they make your muscles tense, they increase your blood pressure, you notice that your heart rate increases, the things you could not do before, you always want to do it. That's why you notice that Lagos drivers are always ready to fight, fight or flight hormone. Now, the major hormone in stress that you should be careful about is the hormone we call cortisol. Cortisol is the, obonge, the problem. Now, cortisol basically normally will go to your body system, remove all the glucose so that your body can have energy to fight. But if it's too much, what happens is that cortisol starts to increase your appetite. You notice that you start reaching for dense calorie foods, pizza, junk, meat pie, so that you can have, soda. All of you asking for soda in traffic. I'm looking at you people. Soda, you're just reaching for those sugary foods so that your body can replenish its energy. It can also lead to weight gain or metabolic syndromes, so that you know. Number two is that because cortisol understands that your body is in, emergency mode, what does it do? It looks at things like immunity, digestion, and kick it to the backyard. They are not important. Let's deal with this emergency first. You notice that you begin to fall sick faster. Your body is not digesting food properly. You're having butterflies in your stomach. And then last but not the least, when you now look at your blood vessel, inside your blood vessel, cortisol can affect the inner lining. And then when it affects the inner lining, if you have something called atherosclerosis, it can block certain important blood vessels in your heart and either lead to a stroke or a heart attack. So, my dear, these are just a few of the things that stress can do to you. Now, how do you now manage it? Number one, first of all, you need to understand that there are certain things that are out of your control. Because the weather is bad, they've told you that your flight will be delayed by a couple of hours. But no, you start shouting, do you know how much I paid for this flight? You're increasing your blood pressure by yourself. No matter the kind of shout you shout, you're not going to make that flight earlier or later. So relax. Or you're in traffic and you understand that this traffic, Google Map has told you that it's 24 hours. You people are going to be stuck in this traffic. If you like, press your horn from now to tomorrow. It's not going to make the traffic move faster. So relax. There are certain things that are out of your control. The more you keep responding to these things physically, emotionally, psychologically, the more you're going to increase your stress levels. Number two, please exercise. Some of you will see people that are on the slim side in the gym and be asking them, do you want to disappear? What are you looking for in the gym? No. Please, some of us are there because we are dealing with stress. Now, how does exercise help stress? When you exercise, your body releases certain hormones we call endorphins. They are hormones that make you feel good. Some of us will not do drugs, so the only way we can get our high is through exercise. So please go and exercise. It will help you. Number three, you need to eat healthy. It's not just akpu and fufu that is food, or as long as it's large on your plate, that means you're eating healthy. It's a lie. There are different classes of food that will also help your body fight stress better. Whole foods, vegetables, and the rest. If you're like me, you live a busy lifestyle and sometimes you cannot really get food. Make sure you're getting your daily dose of Astymin. It's also going to help you fight stress. And then connect to people, talk to people. Sometimes some of us know how this thing is doing us and we just want to share, because a problem shared is a problem half solved, except you're telling it to your village people. So find people in your corner, talk to them, share your problems, and what you will notice is the more you talk about it, the better you feel. And last but not the least, because please practice meditation. Sometimes just lie down and just be in the moment. Because we live in a fast-paced world, everybody always connected to different things at different time. You want to find out what's happening in Sudan, another one wants to find out what's happening in Pakistan. You want to find out, too many bad news. Sometimes just switch away from everything, take a while, and just be in the moment. Understand where you are, practice mindfulness, and just be in the moment. Please, the world is not running away. It's still going to be here when you come back. And I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that if you don't handle stress, stress will handle you.